Hello, welcome to Kevin's Corner, where truth is diligently sought, deliberately taught, and dauntlessly defended. My name is Kevin Probst, and I am coming to you on this 8th day of March in 2026 to consider how Jesus, claiming the power to give life and execute final judgment, leaves us no neutral ground. He must be honored as the Son equally with the Father, or rejected entirely. Let me read to you from John chapter 5. Then Jesus said to them, "Most assuredly, I say to you, the Son cannot do anything of himself, but what he sees the Father do. For whatever he does, the Son also does in like manner. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all things that he himself does, and he will show him greater works than these, that you may marvel." So Jesus speaks these words from the Pool of Bethesda, where the sick and the blind and the lame gather and hope for healing. And Jesus had just healed the paralytic man and instructed him to rise, take up his bed, and walk. The man, having been miraculously healed, did just as Jesus had asked him to. But all of this happened on the Sabbath. Instead of rejoicing over the miracle, the religious leaders accused Jesus of violating Sabbath law. Their hearts were so fixed on the rules that they completely missed the mercy of God that had just been displayed before their very eyes. The final portion of John chapter 5 records Jesus explaining to these leaders exactly who he is. Jesus begins by telling them that he cannot act independently of his Father. The Son can do nothing of himself, he said. He reveals his complete submission to the Father's will, and in doing so, he demonstrates the perfect relationship between Father and Son. The Son does not act in rebellion or independence, but in complete harmony with the Father. In response to the accusation that he had broken the Sabbath, Jesus explains that he is only doing what the Father himself does. Whatever he does, the Son also does in like manner. The life of Jesus, the life that Jesus lives, and the words that he speaks perfectly reflect the Father. In Christ, we see the mercy and grace of the Father as well as his holiness and judgment. And then Jesus makes an astonishing claim. He says, "For as the Father raises the dead and gives life to them, even so the Son gives life to whom he will. For the Father judges no one, but has committed all judgment to the Son, that all should honor the Son just as they honor the Father." And with these words, Jesus crosses a line that no mere man could ever cross. He claims the authority to raise the dead, something that only God can do. Not only that, but he also claims the authority to judge the world. The Father, he says, has entrusted all judgment to the Son. Now, this would have been a stunning moment for those listening. Standing before them was a man who looked like any other man, yet he was declaring divine authority. One day, every person who has ever lived will stand before this same Jesus. And on that final day, terrible for some and glorious for others, the Son will judge with perfect righteousness. And on that day, as Jesus declares, all shall honor the Son just as they honor the Father. And there is no lesser honor given to the Son and no greater honor given to the Father. They are honored equally. This is why the words of C.S. Lewis remain so powerful. He said, "I am trying here to prevent anyone saying the really foolish thing that people often say about him. I'm ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but I don't accept his claim to be God. A man who is merely a man and said the sort of things that Jesus said would not be a great moral teacher. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the Son of God, or else he is a madman or something worse." Jesus does not allow us the comfortable option of calling him merely a good teacher, his own words will not permit it. Each of us must decide what we will do with him. We can reject him, as the religious leaders did. We can dismiss him as delusional, or we can bow before him and confess what he plainly claimed to be, Lord and God. Thank you so much for taking time from your busy day and allowing me to share with you from Kevin's Corner. Please help me share truth with others by liking and sharing this video. Also, please subscribe to Kevin's Corner on YouTube and Substack. And until next time, live bravely and courageously.